going to address today one of the most popular questions that I get about this rite of passage stuff. And you're probably thinking it yourself. How do you know if your son is ready for something this meaningful or if it's actually too soon? We're going to talk about that today. If you are following this series, then one thing that I know about you is that you are an intentional mama. And so you're not just thinking about the timing, but you're thinking about the heart of your son, you're thinking about the safety, and you're thinking about his future. And I get all of that. And that's all of those things are important. But like everything else, there's rarely a perfect time, and rarely do we come to the table with it all figured out. And even more rarely, if that's a word or a phrase, do our boys show up ready. And not only do they not show up ready, they also show up reluctant in most cases. And so if you have a son that says, I am super excited about doing a rite of passage and I'm looking forward to it, then I want you to capture that moment and send it to me in video, because I will have to see it to believe it. In the Rite of Passage ebook, I believe I have a list of 8 to 10 things, if I recall correctly, of ways you can know that your son is ready for a rite of passage. But in this video today, we'll cover 3 or 4 of those. The first sign that your son, I wouldn't say the first as if there's an order, but I think one of the biggest signs that your son is ready for a rite of passage is the distance that he creates, where he is trying to have more independence, but he still needs your guidance. And so it's not that he's like, I can do it all on my own, and then he goes out and does it all on his own correctly. Not that point. So at that point, he's at a different level, but it's slightly before that point. So it's that point where he wants to do it on his own, but you know he still needs help. That's a clear sign that your son is ready for a rite of passage, because he is seeking that independence, but he knows he still needs to be connected a little bit. Another sign will be when you start noticing small changes where he is actually taking a tad bit more responsibility, even if it's only in small ways, where it could just be as simple as he offers to carry something for you, or he offers to show you how to do something. That's another sign that your son is ready for a rite of passage, and he's starting to make that shift out of boyhood. Another way you can tell he's ready is by the questions that he asks. If he's asking bigger questions, maybe more philosophical questions, questions that go beyond yes or no or why or why not, but trying to get to the meaning or the reason behind things, that's another sign that he's shifting out of boyhood. I think another big one is feelings, when he is paying attention to how you feel, and it's not just about himself anymore. That's another big sign that he is making a shift from boyhood to manhood. And so a lot of these things can be subtle, but if you pay attention, you will start to notice little by little that these things are becoming a little more frequent, of how he interacts with you, how he asks questions, how he speaks about things. And you will start to see the subtle change that he's moving slowly but surely from boyhood to manhood. And it is in this space where the change is yet occurring that we want to start to capture the moment. Our role is to meet him in that moment, to help him build his confidence, not with pressure, but through experience. We meet him in that moment to help him develop resilience, not by shielding him from challenges, but guiding him through them. Most importantly, we meet him in that moment by surrounding him with other men that will be there to guide him, to be mentors to him, to be an example to him of what this journey looks like to go from boyhood to manhood. And this is where all of the intention comes in, because we are going to choose this group of men carefully. We're going to choose men that lead with respect and honor. We're going to choose men that share the same values as our family. And we're going to choose men that are going to be a positive influence in this journey with our sons. As your son starts on this journey, I promise you, you will start to see something shift in him. You will start to see that he understands and knows that something is changing. and that he understands and knows that he is growing. He starts to see himself differently. He will eventually step into this journey and accept the responsibility of becoming a man. Eventually, he will stop seeing himself as a boy figuring things out, and he will start seeing himself as someone stepping into the journey into manhood and accepting responsibility and learning identity and having purpose and developing character for the man that he will become. Although he is pushing himself away from us a little bit, I guarantee you that this process of taking him through a rite of passage, it strengthens him and it strengthens the relationship that he has with us. So if you're wondering if he's ready, chances are he is, and chances are you're already starting to see the sign. So pay closer attention for the things that we've talked about today. And just remember, you don't have to walk this journey alone. Tell me in the chat, how old is your son? I'm Yolandria Tisdale with Journey to Legacy, and we're talking about the journey from boyhood to manhood. Until next time, bye-bye.